Page 129, question 2. Shade the base 10 models to show 5/10 plus 1800 equals 6800. And then you have some pictures for your 5/10, for your 1800, and your 6800. Write the equation with decimal numbers, and that's where we're going to kind of focus today. But let's look at this picture. Now we know you cannot do a tenths plus a hundredths because you cannot add unlike denominators. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change this . So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Try to split this. Okay. Now that we have hundredths and hundredths, I can only shade in 5 of the tenths. So when this was tenths, I would have shaded in this whole column, and this whole column, and this whole column, and this whole column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this whole column. But now that it's out of 100ths, I actually shaded in 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, which is how we get that denominators. Because what you really did was you found an equivalent fraction, and you wanted to make this over 100. So I had to times by 10, and if I times by 10 here, I got 50. So this is all the same work on how I got that 50. So now I'm going to shade in 18/100. So I'm going to call a whole column of 10 plus 8 more. And when I do that, I put my 50, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, plus 10, try to get these all colored in, plus 8 more, gives me this 68. But I want to write this as a decimal because that's what it is. So 5/10 is decimal 5 plus decimal 18 gives me decimal 68. So if we did this, 0.5 plus decimal 5 plus decimal 1/8, you can't do that because you have to have a 0 as a placeholder. So I would have to put my 0 here, which is exactly what we did up here. So now I would say 0 plus 8 is 8, and 5 plus 1 is 6, and you have to line this decimal up so that it stays the same. And so the answer would be decimal 68 or 6800ths.